Hey guys, so in this video we would be talking about how to set up a new project using Ezbake. So for starters, you would need the Periodics desktop app installed in your system. And along with the desktop app, you need to make sure that all of the tools listed inside desktop app have been installed like Homebrew, Node, Periodics CLI, Ezbake. These are some of the prerequisites you already need to have installed in your system before you go through further in this video. So once you have got these things installed, the next thing you would need is an empty Git repository to which you would actually push your code to your freshly baked project to. So I have this Salesforce DX project. So as you can see, they do not have any source code in them, or any of the environment variables haven't been set up. So you could see that these repositories are blank. And now we would be using Ezbake to actually create a brand new project and populate this repository. So let's get started. So for those of you who do not know about Ezbake, Ezbake is a homegrown tool by the Aperio Digital team, and in Aperio DX we are leveraging it to create new projects, to scaffold new projects from pre-existing templates. And yeah, while doing the project setup, Ezbake asks you some questions that you answer, and based on your responses, it customizes your project as per your needs and pushes it to your Git repository. So there are two ways through which you could actually create a new project, new Aperiodx project. First one is through the desktop app. So as soon as you open the desktop app, you'll see this projects page, and here on the right hand side, you'll see an add project button. So let's just go ahead and click that. Once you click that, we can see it is asking for two things: the directory where we would like to actually create or store our project, and then the repository URL of the GitLab repo we just created, the empty repo to which this project should be pushed. So let's select a project directory. So this directory seems reasonable, and so let's select this one, and let's provide the URL for our GitLab repository. So let me just copy this URL and paste it over here. So there you go. Now the create the project button is available, and let's click that. So you can see ADX init command has run in background, and here you can see the options. It has started asking us questions that which type of project we would be developing. So this is the first way how you can create a project using the desktop app, and let me quickly show you the other way as well. So you can see you could simply open terminal, go into any directory where you would want to create your new project, and run the adx init command. So adx init command can also take some parameters, so you simply need to run help to see them. So you can see it takes a parameter -o, which is actually the URL of the git destination repository. So let's try to run this adx init. Again, you can see it is asking us the same question, that which type of project we would be developing. And if you notice, I haven't provided the git repo URL yet. So if I choose any of this project, it would start asking me now that what is the URL for my repository over here. So let's close this one and continue with the one we started from the desktop app. So for our first demo, let's select the Salesforce DX type of project. So you can see now it is asking me please provide a name for this project. So let's type as best SFDX project. So now you can see it has started cloning the template repository from GitLab. So as I already told you, these template repositories actually contain the raw material or the ingredients that are required to customize your project. So based on the project that you have chosen, Salesforce DX or legacy Salesforce type, it would be asking you questions based on that. So those questions and those all of that secret sauce is stored in these template repositories. So let me just skip ahead to where we have actually cloned this repository. Okay, so we can see that it has finished cloning the repository. So let's just go ahead and start answering the questions. So here you can see the first question, will your project use CMC? So yes, best SFTX project. So now it is asking us that which CI system would we like to use. So right now the options are the GitLab CI and Bitbucket pipelines. As of now, we only have the YML generated or CI support for GitLab CI, but soon, depending upon what you answer to this question, would actually be generating the CI configuration file based on that. So let's select GitLab CI for now since we put in the repo URL of GitLab. Then this question is asking us that what is the URL of a CI system. Now it could be varied. You could be using Bitbucket. You could even be using GitLab, which is not on a Aperios instance, or you could be using GitHub or any other URL or any other Git repository of your choice. So let's select this default value for now. So now it is asking us that do we want Ezbake to actually build a CI YML file for us? So now YML file's purpose is basically a YML file is the heart of continuous integration. It contains all the information about how the jobs would run, when would they run. So if you really want continuous integration embedded in a project, you should answer yes to this. So let's answer yes. Then it's asking us that do we want quality scanning in a project using SonarQube. So let's select yes for now. If we answer no, what would happen is that job would be skipped from the YML file that would be generated especially for our project. Again, Sonar instances could be different. So let's select the Aperios default instance for now. Then this one is an interesting question that do we want to automatically clean up the branches that have been merged. So based on our response, a job would be created in our YML file, which would do what exactly? It would be cleaning up the branches that have automatically been merged, and are old, so that your Git repository doesn't get into bad shape. It isn't clustered. So let's select yes for now. So now you can see it is asking for us the auth URL for our dev hub org. Now, even if you have worked with Salesforce DX, auth URL might sound a little bit unfamiliar to you. So if that is the case, we have our documentation. Let us pull up the documentation. So here you can see in our documentation we have explained that how to do Salesforce DX org authorization. So there are mainly three ways you could authorize an org with Salesforce DX CLI. The first one is using the auth web login, which would simply open the login page for the org, and you can enter your username and credential password as credentials to store that information into the command line interface. The second one is the auth sfdx URL store, which is the one we would be using. So let's skip the description for that for just a second. And the third one is the auth JWT run. So now this is one of the most popular methods for interacting with continuous integration systems or authorizing orgs while using a CI script. But since it takes a little bit longer to set up, we are skipping it and using the SFDX URL store instead. So how do you exactly get the auth URL that Ezbake is asking you for? So let me show you. You open up another terminal side by side and you run sfdx force org list. So if you have already authorized any of the orgs that you would be using, like the dev org, it's asking you the credentials for, you simply use that one. Otherwise, you will have to first log in into a devhub org using sfdx auth web login, and once you have done that, then you would actually be using the display command, and let me show you how. So here you can see I have a bunch of orgs which I have linked to my command line interface. So let's use this dev hub, which is my Perio ID. So how to find the auth URL for this one? It is really simple. I simply run sfdx force auth force org display, then I pass in the alias and also the verbose flag. So once I run this, we will actually get the auth URL. So here is the auth URL. As you can see, I just simply need to copy it and paste it in the Ezbake question over here. So as you see, as soon as I pasted that, I'm redirected to the next question, which is which orgs will I be using for my project. So this is again one of the important questions and decides how the jobs would be scheduled. So I can see here, you can see I could press space to select a single option, A to toggle all, A to select all, or I to inverse the selection. So if I choose only UAT in production, as it is indicated over here, then as soon as I commit to the master branch, two manual jobs will be created to deploy to UAT in production, the latest package that has been created. But if I choose all the three orgs, then committing to master would automatically deploy the package to SIT org and also create two manual jobs scheduled for UAT and production org. So basically this determines what should be the order of deployment and which are the orgs that you're using. So let's select all three for now. There we go. Again, it is asking us for the auth URL for the SIT org. So let us type anything right now. You could simply generate the auth URL the same way I showed you for the dev hub. Auth URL for SIT. Of course, this isn't going to work. I'm typing anything. Auth URL for UAT. Auth URL for production. So now you can see an interesting thing is happening. All of the questions have been answered, and now you can see like Ezbake is swapping up the template values. So what happens behind the scene is these answers that we have given are substituted in the template that was first downloaded, and this is how it actually customizes a project. So after swapping, you can see some other commands are running in the background, which is known as icing in Ezbake terms. So you could see applying icing. So in the background, it is running npm install, dynamically creating your YML file with all of the orgs that you have created and all of the jobs that you chose. Then all of your other CI secret, your environment variables are getting passed up. So CI secret actually pushes the environment variables to GitLab. Then some other things like sonar configuration files are being generated. The project is getting added to the list of periodics projects in the desktop app. And after everything is done, finally the project is pushed to Git repo. And we can see the message your project is ready, which means it is time for us to go into GitLab and actually see if it actually pushed anything. So here we are in the GitLab, and you can see I've already refreshed the page, and here you can see Ezbake initial commit, and these are the files from the project that we have just created. So if let's open up some file and actually see if it contains the data we enter. So let's go into config appear.json. So if you remember, we answered that we would be using CMC, and our product name would be best SFDX project. So yes, we can see that these are the template values that have been swapped. These are only two of them, but all of the answers we gave had some significance and have caused this project to be the way it is. So let's go ahead and also see if the environment variables have been set up. So here are the environment variables, and let's click on reveal values. If I do that, you would be able to see that yes, we have finally the values that we set. So here you can see the mock values that we set, and they have been set as environment variables. So our project is now ready for actual development. You could even see that a CI job ran. It failed because we need to put in because we need to actually put in the packages inside the appear config.json file for it to be successful, to find any packages to package. But once we do that, we could go ahead and start developing. So that's it for this video, guys. uh, Hope you learned something. Thank you.